Hello, dear viewers of Hypercube Science. Today we're diving into one of the greatest questions in human history. Is immortality possible? For centuries, myths, legends, and religions have promised life after death. But now modern science is beginning to take real steps in that direction. From slowing down aging to extending human lifespan, and even aiming for immortality, there are revolutionary developments happening in both technology and biology. But can we really live forever? Let's start by understanding what aging actually is. Why does immortality seem impossible from a biological standpoint? In simple terms, aging is the gradual breakdown of our cells and tissues over time. As damage builds up, the body's overall performance declines. Our cells can divide and repair themselves, but not indefinitely. That limit is controlled by structures called telomeres. Telomeres are protective caps at the ends of our chromosomes. Every time a cell divides, its telomeres get shorter. Eventually, they become so short that the cell can no longer divide, and it goes into programmed cell death. This is a key mechanism behind aging. But some creatures in nature seem to defy this process. Take the immortal jellyfish, Turritopsis dohrnii, for example. Under stress, it can revert back to an earlier stage of its life cycle and start all over again. That's not true immortality. It's more like extreme biological resilience. Other examples include hydras, tiny freshwater animals whose cells can divide forever without signs of aging. Lobsters, too, show very little aging and can live over 100 years thanks to the enzyme telomerase, which helps maintain their telomeres. But even these creatures eventually die from injuries, diseases, or predators, so they're not truly immortal. In biology, when we talk about immortality, we usually mean the absence of aging, not invincibility. Even so, humans aren't entirely out of the race. In human cells, aging is caused by multiple complex processes. DNA damage, protein malfunctions, mitochondrial dysfunction, and cellular stress all contribute to aging. Interestingly, telomerase, remember the enzyme that extends telomeres, is active in some cells, especially cancer cells. That's why cancer cells can divide endlessly and become immortal. But here's the catch. Activating telomerase in healthy cells can increase the risk of cancer. In recent years, researchers have focused on slowing down aging and even reversing some of its signs. In labs, scientists are experimenting with stem cell therapies, gene editing technologies like CRISPR, and molecules that stimulate cell regeneration. There are also anti-aging studies underway. In mice, drugs like rapamycin and pyrimethamine have shown to extend lifespan by up to 30%. Metformin, a common diabetes drug, is also being explored for its age-slowing effects. Some supplements, like antioxidants and vitamins, might protect cells, but their actual impact on lifespan is still uncertain. Gene editing like CRISPR could help modify genes responsible for aging. Stem cell therapies might rejuvenate damaged tissues, but most of these are still in experimental phases. The hope of technology, transhumanism, and digital consciousness. Immortality isn't just about stopping biological aging anymore. There's a growing movement called transhumanism, the idea of using advanced technology to push beyond our biological limits. One of the most fascinating concepts in this area is mind uploading. Imagine transferring your memories, thoughts, and consciousness into a digital system. Your physical body might die, but your mind could continue to live in a virtual environment. Sounds like science fiction, right? But some companies and researchers are seriously working on it. Take Elon Musk's Neuralink project. It's trying to create a direct interface between the brain and computers. Basically, a way to read brain signals and potentially upload them to a machine. But this raises a ton of ethical and philosophical questions. If we copy someone's consciousness into a computer, is that really them? Or just a simulation? Can consciousness truly be transferred? Or is it tied to the physical brain and body? These questions go beyond science. They touch on the nature of the self. What makes you, you? Consciousness, identity, and deep philosophy. When we talk about immortality, we're not just asking if the body can survive, we're also asking if the self can continue. If your mind exists in a machine, is that really you? Or just a digital version with your memories, our emotions, personality, and self-awareness, something that can be copied? Or are they inseparable from your biological body? For centuries, philosophers have wrestled with the mind-body problem. Now, neuroscience and AI are entering the debate with new data, but the answers are still far from clear. Ethical and societal impacts of immortality. Let's say science figures it out. We solve aging, we upload minds, we achieve immortality. Then what? This could completely reshape society. First, there's the issue of access. Would immortality be available to everyone, or just the rich? If only the wealthy could afford it, we might see even greater social inequality. Then there's the problem of overpopulation. If people stop dying but keep having children, Earth could become unsustainably crowded. That could strain resources, harm the environment, and lead to ecological disaster. And beyond all that, think about how we view life and death. If death disappears, will life lose its urgency? Will people still feel motivated to achieve, to grow, to love? Some futurists, like Ray Kurzweil, believe that by the 2030s, the merging of nanotechnology, AI, and biotech could allow humans to achieve digital or biological immortality. But most scientists say we're still a long way off. Extending lifespan is becoming more realistic, but eliminating death entirely? Still full of unanswered questions. My personal thoughts on immortality. So what do I personally think about all this? Honestly, the idea of immortality is both fascinating and a little terrifying. It's completely natural for us to want more time, with our loved ones, with our dreams, with life itself. But immortality isn't just a scientific concept, it's also deeply ethical, psychological, and philosophical. Let's say we really could eliminate aging and death. That would be an incredible scientific breakthrough. People would no longer suffer from age-related diseases, and healthcare systems would be completely transformed. But we have to be careful with what we mean by immortality. If it simply means stopping the aging process, that alone would be a huge step forward. But if we're talking about eternal life, then we're also talking about the mind, the soul, and consciousness. Some scientists are optimistic about digital consciousness and mind uploading, but I'm a bit skeptical. Because being human isn't just brain activity. It's also our memories, emotions, experiences, and our physical bodies. A digital copy might preserve the data, but would it really be you? And here's another thought. If we did achieve immortality, what kind of world would we live in? Even now, we're facing environmental problems and resource shortages. If people lived forever, the population would explode. That would put enormous pressure on the planet. Plus, would immortality be available to everyone? Or just to the wealthy few? If only a small elite could afford it, that could make global inequality even worse. And maybe the most important thing is this. Isn't death what gives life its meaning? When something is limited, we value it more. Memories become precious. Love becomes deeper. Dreams feel urgent. If we lived forever, would we still feel the same sense of purpose? Or would life just start to feel empty? That said, I fully support all the scientific work being done to extend healthy lifespan, prevent disease, and improve quality of life. Because in the end, a good life is more important than just a long one. What really matters is not just how long we live, but how well we live. So, what do you think? Is immortality your ultimate dream? Or do you believe death is a natural part of life? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Hypercube Science for more deep dives into science, technology, and the future of humanity. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care of yourself and stay curious.